Our colleagues at Travel and Leisure magazine recently put out their list of top 50 places to visit in 2020, and one of them is right here in the Carolinas, Asheville, making this list alongside places like Costa Rica, Barbados, and Dubai. The magazine points out the area's natural beauty, great food, and of course the local art scene. And we should mention Travel and Leisure is produced by our parent company here, the Meredith Corporation. Joining me right now is Dodie Stevens, Director of Communications for Explore Asheville. Pretty exciting stuff, huh?
We are just so thrilled about this destination. Travel and Leisure is the gold standard when it comes to travel advice. So to be on a list with all these amazing destinations, it's just a reminder of how fortunate we are in our area to live somewhere that's a global, worldwide destination right in our backyard. People from Greenville can just head up 26.
That's right. Now, I was looking at this as I opened it up. I mean, you're right here, number 18, next to Portugal. That's pretty crazy. And this magazine features, of course, the Art Museum, the Chow Chow Fest. So we'll start with the art scene. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Anybody that's been to Asheville know that's a pretty big scene up there.
Yeah, heading into 2020, we just have such this great concentration of happenings in our arts and culture scene. The Art Museum is really big news for us. It is a state-of-the-art facility. They've actually expanded their exhibit space by 70%.
Wow.
And it's just views inside and out, all the way up to a sculpture terrace on the roof and cafe. It's just, you could plop that museum down in any major city and it would just be wonderful. And we're just so lucky to have it right here in Western North Carolina.
And during these cold months, it's nice to get in and get in some heat. So perfect thing to do on the weekend.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about the Chow Chow Festival. It's a new event that Asheville brought in. Can you talk about what this was and what it has to do and how it brings kind of the community together?
Yeah, it's being led by some of the best chefs in Asheville's food scene, but it's about so much more than that. This is really pulling in the makers in our community, the brewers, the farmers, the artisans, and all coming together to really celebrate the many hands around the table. It's a nonprofit, so the proceeds are going back into the community, and the events are just highly immersive and creative. You're taking walking tours and having important cultural conversations. Also, just doing these immersive dining experiences, all kind of capped off with a grand tasting experience that brings everything together. That'll be September 10th through 13th this year. It's definitely something to put on your calendar as kind of a 2020 bucket list event.
So it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back better than ever.
So September, you got some time to plan for that. And of course, if you've been to Asheville, we talk about it a lot. The brewery scene is explosive across the mountains. And it's featured in this magazine as well as some things to check out. Talk about the scene up there and how that's really changed Asheville.
Well, we just hit a milestone, 50 breweries in the area. And so what that means is that our brewing scene is very mature. And so there are a lot of really creative collaborations that are happening. Our brewers are working with well-known chefs. A couple examples, Forestry Camp is one, and that's Burial Brewing has brought in Brian Canapelli, who has a James Beard nom under his belt, to do their Forestry Camp brewery and restaurant. And that is the building is historic. It was the Civilian Conservation Corps, the workers who actually worked in the national parks and helped build the Blue Ridge Parkway during the New Deal era. So this place feels like a camp. It has a very lodge vibe. It's very unexpected and really immersive experience. Then we also have Cultura, which is a restaurant that is in partnership between Walt Dickinson of Wicked Weed and Chef Jacob Sessoms from Table, who's another one of our first James Beard nominated chefs in Asheville. And they've come together for this fermentation-themed restaurant that is filled with surprises kind of, around the theme of fermentation. It's just really fun, creative, fine dining.
Awesome stuff. And, it's the holiday season. Asheville has a lot to offer people. It's a quick drive. It's crazy the difference between, here in Greenville, Spartanburg, to get to Asheville. And what is there to do now during the holiday season? I know culinary is really cool up there this time of year, too. It's just such a cool visual to go up there and see the mountains, the sunrise over the mountains as well.
Yeah, at Biltmore, there's always something happening at Biltmore, and so Christmas at Biltmore is one of the quintessential Asheville experiences. But heading through 2020, they actually have their Downton Abbey exhibit on. So not just the costumes from the show, but also the recreations of the set and a multimedia 360 experience of Downton Abbey. So if you're a fan of the show, it's like a 360 at Biltmore this year and through the spring.
Well, congratulations on making Leisure and Travel Magazine's top places to visit in 2020. It's pretty exciting for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. People can, if you're looking to plan a trip, they can visit exploreasheville.com. We have all this information and all sorts of tips and booking advice heading into 2020.
It's a quick trip. It's a cheap trip to go up there. You can come back, make it a day trip, and a lot to do. So check out that museum as well. Thanks so much, Dodie, for coming in and talking
Thanks
to
for
us.
having me.